Got about a 10-mile-an-hour crosswind right here. That was a hit, first shot. Oh, I like this thing. Hello there folks, and welcome back to Bullets for Bucks. My name's Stephen Bresnaw, and today we're going to be taking a look at and testing and reviewing the Seekins HAVAK PH2 or Pro Hunter 2. Now this rifle features a very nice high quality carbon composite stock. It does feel a little bit plasticky, but it's very dense at the same time, meaning it doesn't have that hollow sound like you get on cheaper synthetic stocks, and it is much more rigid. So it's basically a mixture of carbon and polymer composites. Then at the rear here, we have a very nice, soft, adequate, very thick rubber recoil pad. This is probably about an inch thick. And coming forward, we have a built-in QD sling mount on the bottom here. We have a little bit of like a cheek riser molded into the stock right here, comes up maybe a half of an inch. Then coming forward, you have a little cutout here, and that's so you can pull this bolt all the way to the rear and remove it easily, which is a really nice feature. Coming forward to the grip, you have some like molded in checker patterns, so it has some grip even if your hands are wet. Really nice large palm swell, kind of feels almost like you're holding a ball in your hand, and almost a 90-degree angle right here. Coming forward, you have a metal, bottom metal, and a very nice, very wide curved trigger blade. It's a Timney Elite Hunter trigger, adjusts down to 2.5 pounds. Very nice from the factory. You do have to remove the stock from the barreled action to go ahead and adjust that trigger, though, as the adjustment screw is in the front of the trigger housing. Brakes extremely clean and crisp, no take up, no creep, no over travel really there. Then coming forward, you have a nice metal mag well, and one thing that really makes this unique is you have a push button mag release inside the trigger guard. You push that down and you have a carbon fiber magazine. Now this is insanely lightweight, just crazy lightweight. And I believe it's 5+1 on the short action cartridges and 3+1 on the magnums. And we're gonna go ahead and test that out, or I should say long action cartridges. Now we're going to be testing this in 300 PRC today. We're going to be using some factory 225 grain ELDM factory loads here. The magazine on this goes in pretty easily. Sometimes it wants to get a little bit stuck and lean forward and get caught on the front, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too hard. It's pretty quiet because it's not metal on metal, it's carbon fiber on metal. It does have some slop and play in it, but it's not too bad. And I do believe you can use this with PMags. Coming up to the bolt here, you have a very nice 4-lug bolt design, and this is reminiscent of a Weatherby Mark V in my opinion, although the lugs are quite a bit larger and there is less lugs. On the Weatherby, you have 6 or 9 lug options. On the Mark V, this one you have 4 lug options. This is fluted on an angular pattern. It's not fully fluted though. Has a knurled aluminum bolt knob, and I do believe that's threaded on, or excuse me, it's held in with a screw here at the end, and you can remove that. Has a nice, what I believe is aluminum bolt shroud at the rear, and has a very large what feels like very firm plunger ejector and a very nice Seiko style extractor here on the side. So excellent design there. The safety on this is 2 positions. It does not lock the bolt in the forward position. And the bolt throw is 90 degrees on this, although it's insanely smooth. So running this bolt, it's very smooth. I wouldn't say it's as smooth as a Tikka or a Sako, but it feels a little bit tighter though at the same time, and like it might have a little bit tighter tolerances. So if you desire a smooth action that still feels tight, this is a good way to go. Bolt lift is really smooth and easy, no hiccups or anything to speak of. Rides really nice in the receiver. Safety, You know, nothing super remarkable. It's quiet. It's just a regular Timney safety that comes with the trigger. It has a side bolt release that is metal, and it works quite well. Coming forward to the receiver, the bedding in this is really, really nice. See my other video, my studio review video, if you want to go more in depth and see how the receiver beds up inside the stock. Coming forward, you have a fully free-floated 26-inch barrel. It's threaded 5/8 by 24. It does not come with a muzzle brake on this model. It is spiral fluted and absolutely beautiful, however. The 300 PRC is 1 in 10 twist, and the receiver does come with a 20 MOA rail already pre-attached. Mine was actually torqued down correctly, and they did use some what I believe was like blue Loctite. So really pleased to see that they actually pre-installed the 20 MOA rail and it was installed correctly. That's something you don't see very often. All right, folks, so the weight on this Havak PH2 is only 6.9 pounds without a scope or mount. And so that's quite light. In fact, that's not a bad weight even for backcountry hunting. And that's due basically to the fluted bolt, the fluted barrel, and the lightweight carbon fiber composite stock. Now, I have this huge, massive scope mounted on here that's not really appropriately matched to the purpose of this rifle, and that's just so I can test out this scope and this rifle at this time. This is the Vortex Razor Gen 3 scope, just an absolute beast of a scope. It's 6 to 36 power. All right, folks, so we've got this roughly zeroed in. This is a virgin gun, so take that in consideration. What I'm looking for right now is it going to adjust appropriately with the scope, and is the rifle going to shoot tight, precise groups, not necessarily the point of impact, because as we break this in and as I sight this in, it's a process getting that point of impact being perfect. Really like the way these 225 grain Hornady ELDM factory loads fed into this magazine. They seem to feed in all right. We're going to be using, like I said, Hornady 225 grain ELDM in 300 PRC. With the magazine, I would say this: you want to kind of tilt it towards yourself before you put it up in there, or it can get caught on the front a little bit. That's not a huge thing. It's more of like a learning curve than anything else. Shooting 100 yards here. I'm going to just, we have one sighter shot. That's just to the left of the center bullseye. That was a sighter shot. Now I'm going to shoot a 3-shot group. Ammunition's very expensive, or I'd shoot a 5-shot group. Really like the ergonomics of this. The cheek riser puts your eye perfectly in alignment with your scope, and it just feels really, really comfortable. Length of pull feels good as well. Getting a little bit used to this huge palm swell here, but just feels really ergonomic. I do like it. The Timney Elite Hunter trigger breaks really clean, really nice wide trigger blade on this. Ooh. Feeding nicely, ejecting, extracting appropriately. This is going to be the first 3-shot group out of this gun. Wow. I'm impressed, folks. Factory ammunition, and that's probably a 1/2-inch group, at most 3/4-inch group, with a 300 PRC and a relatively lightweight rifle. Inherently, you know, magnums and light rifles are more difficult to shoot precisely. That is impressive. So now I'm going to go ahead and adjust my zero about MOA to an MOA half down and about 2 MOA left. Impressed. I got to get used to the mag release being in the trigger guard, though. I'm not used to that. And the magazine, it takes a little effort to get it out sometimes. It does want to stick just a tad, but these are all things that are generally just getting used to how a firearm functions. Not really a big deal. And I'm shooting the barrel hot. It's spiral fluted, so it does shed heat well. And by the way, the barrel and the receiver is stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about rust and corrosion resistant like you do on other metals. Really loving this Vortex Razor Gen 3 6 to 36 by 56 rifle scope. The zeroing system on this is the coolest and best I've ever seen in my life. You just turn this dial. There's no audible clicks or anything like that, or it's not tactile, but you turn it and you can adjust it just perfectly exactly where you want it. And then you just tighten these one set screw on each dial. It sets the zero stop, and super simplistic. You leave your actual turret, the tactical turret part, on 0 for both the windage and elevation, and then you loosen up the set screws, turn the top dial, 0 it, tighten the set screws, and you're done. Really like this. The glass is the best I've ever used, potentially even better than the Steiner T5XI glass that I have. Little to almost no perceivable edge distortion, even at 36 power. Great light transmission, no chromatic aberration, at least no perceivable chromatic aberration, just excellent. And it seems to be tracking and dialing just perfect and holding 0. We're going to go upper left red square and the upper left corner of it, and that way I have a smaller point of aim. Brush that shot just a tatty bit there. Flinched on that one for sure. I would say it's about a 3/4 inch, maybe 1 inch group out of a hot barrel that's not even fully broken in. And test it out at 400 and see how it does. Another thing I like about this rifle is even though it's a box magazine, you can drop around in and it'll still feed. Now I'm kind of guessing elevation here so I don't expect it to be great. Probably going to guess about 6 MOA at 400 yards here at my elevation. Just parallax. I'll be darned. First shot on that little prairie dog. It's about a 6-inch prairie dog at 400 yards. I gotta tell you, I am loving this. I am absolutely loving this rifle and scope. Got about a 10-mile-an-hour crosswind right here. That was a hit. First shot. Oh, I like this thing. All right, so closing thoughts on the Havak PH2 and 300 PRC is this thing is absolutely fantastic. The carbon fiber composite stock gives you the benefits of a polymer stock while being way more durable, way more rigid. The barrel's fully free-floated. It has a stainless steel receiver and spiral fluted barrel that sheds heat very well. It's weather resistant. The Timony Elite Hunter trigger's excellent. Nice wide trigger blade for hunters out there. The magazine's super light. I would say if I had anything to pick on it would be that the magazine sometimes goes in or comes out a little bit with a little bit of difficulty, but it's not too great. Palm swell feels great. Ergonomics of the stock are great. Comb height on the stock is great. Just really impressed with this rifle. If I was going to say like to improve anything, it would be make this less than a 90-degree bolt throw and maybe make the magazine a little easier to get in and out. But just an excellent rifle. Love that it comes with a front and rear QD sling, as well as a regular sling swivel stud in the front so you can attach a bipod in front of your QD sling.